me yalon ko atarta mo findula karola bari World Bank la bundalem jeti.
Briefly, this is my work career. I hold various directorships, but I don't think it's relevant here.
Ñene mun na do ko la ñate nga director makamolu façon jamal le mara bari bitu mallala akuma yata pour kawlu be itandi jang.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Bensouda. I'm sure if we were to go through all of your positions, we would be here till tomorrow. But thank you so much for providing that brief overview. You seem to have been placed in very strategic positions in the former government, as well as this previous government, the Jawara government and the Jammeh government.
Hamun talam fele ko eketa ye makama kuma balle makamol me alongo makama fere landili makamol lem nunto mansa kunda me mujawara mansa kunda ani yaya Jammeh mansa kunda.
Your involvement in the detention review tribunal after the 1981 coup.
Ila dabulo yo kafo melondi puru ni muta molla ko me alongo 1981 coup d'etat ni menu dabulata kono kela kol jube.
And later as acting Attorney General when the military dictatorship took over.
During Sojaro ye bankota inarneke karafar Attorney General di meme alango olbe marle lual ni kidin kunyala.
Can you just give us a picture or a description of what the Jawara government was like just immediately before the military takeover?
Poisa fono nyama kumala suti yakani Jawara la mansa kundanu abenu nyadi la mararo benu nyadi la janni wati sutungola janni Sojaro be bankota
la. Thank you, Council.
Inumbara Council.
It's a much maligned government.
Amunta mansa kundala me yalonko ye kolu ye kanyan black kolu lale.
The reality is, in 1994,
July,
when this coup happened,
member Kerin Willem 1994 nying kudeta la kewato.
The country was in very good shape.
Bankobe nu la nyima bala nu wotumo.
The economy had almost collapsed in 1984.
Katu 1984 son kono bankola fanko tatale hanfo aboita.
But with the assistance from IMF and World Bank,
IMF and World Bank
and other well-meaning international partners, the country put in place a structural adjustment program.
Bankonata bunda lundi me ya lonko wala keta kolu tembendi bunda luti do ku bunda la karola anim fanko do ko la karola.
And it did work for the Gambia.
And wonata ke ku kendeti me Gambia nafa.
The program was successful.
A program woni nata ke kuti me yirwata.
Although it was hard.
Akoleata nunde.
Because almost 2,000 civil servants were retrenched.
Katu atata la hanfo man sakunda do kula lumembita fo mo wuli fula nyon yeda handi do kola.
And the dalasi was floated.
And winata dalaso sembo tala amunta ya feyandi.
And it lost its value from $5 to the pound to almost $300 to the pound.
And be makamo mento nun dalasi lulo woning Angleterre la pound le kanyantanu. Bari ya sembo jindi nyaming a sembo jital hanfo dalasi keme saba wala nim pound on nata kanyang.
The structural adjustment was successful and we moved on to an economic recovery program.
Bitu ye bunda la nya kuto menketeng ofana nata yirwa bitu tembolem nata tenteng hanfo kana lung kukuta kono menketa fanko sain kan yirwandi bundati ka fomeye economic recovery program.
That also was very successful.
Ofana nata ke kuti me yirwa ta bankoye.
The dalasi was stabilized.
Bitu dalaso nata lodula bambandi musoto utumole. And
went back to almost $5 to the pound.
And otuma muruta hanfo dalasi lulo nim pauno bina kanyana.
That although I think it finally stabilized at around $10 or $11 to the pound.
Tuangatano lodula laba menta olem dalasi tang wala dalasi standing killing wala nim pound killing kanyanta nungotumo.
When we successfully completed the economic recovery program, the program for sustained development (PSD) was launched.
In ata program kuta londi kafome PSD program for sustained development wolem programo me ya londi pour yirwa sarto lukama bring fanko yirwa ndi do ko bante kafome economic recovery program biro bantalom wo program kuto nata damuta.
A great deal of reform really took place.
Falindiri jamal le ketanungo tembo.
The country adopted a privatization program to rationalize the public enterprises, many of which were failing. Had been failing, yes.
Bankona tana lodula mutakasarto tamandi me ya lonko. Do ku bunda lumene ya lonko lebe lebe bansakunda la karola pour que lodula kela nyin kamala ko wodo ku bunda jama bije utumo sembo be boy kande.
The World Bank was very happy with us.
Bitu wonata ke kuti World Bank inata sewo baso to Gambia la karola.
They were about to, we were about to launch the program for accelerated growth.
Hanimbi tata hanfo ibina programu damutala membe yirwa sembentu ya la ka tariandi banko kan.
Gambia was well respected.
Gambia e bunya baso to nutumo bantala banko lukan.
Because you could call us really the capital of human rights in Africa.
Kato tumo ka fujane hadamaya nyanto korda ba mofindu tundo mume obeka.
Our president made it clear he would not compromise on human rights.
Kato president wenyi seneyandile ko ate sulufu bulala dalila wo dalila kampurka hadamaya nyantatinya londi nyimbanko ka.
Which president was that?
President Jawara.
President Jawarati.
We were home to the African Commission.
Andu janne nata ke mofindula alpha kafo bundati kafo me African Commission.
And on the economic side, the privatization was quite successful.
Adum fankola karola kado ku bundalu falin kebo mansala karola ke lundi faye kafo me privatization ufana nata ke kuirwari mbati banko kan.
Gamtel was reputed to be one of the most successful telecommunications companies in Africa, only second to South Africa.
Katu Gamtel nata ke bundati meya lonko mofindumu meobe na manke South Africa ti. Gamtel le sembo warta la yirwa sembo warta mofindu banko lubela chokinyola bundalti na manke South Africa ti.
GPMB had been privatized and alimented. The largest granule company in the world was one of the shareholders.
GPMB
partnership with government.
Ina tawlu fanalu ke ifayelo bundati bitu dunia bela doku kafuba me ka fay alimenta wala ni GPMB nata deng ye doku tamandi nyola men nata ke yirwa bati banko kan.
The government had introduced performance contracts for all parastatals.
Bitu doku bundalu men bebe tamakan ifaye man sakunda nata fero men londi wala mnyinti ko. Ila do ko yiriko aning do ko nyimfango la yirwa ibekari wole kotobola me ya lonko ila do ko Kenya e bewole fana no masata la kajibe ka kotobo.
Parastatal managements were given performance targets.
Bitungo do ko bundal membe loring ifaye ye yiriko le londiye ila do ko la barako nyanta futala tembe dalu menuto.
And if they met that target, then they were rewarded.
Ni futata wo maka moto drong etenyanta futala daming bitung ike sara wo tumole ka munta ka bunda nyima yelete do ku bunda nyiye.
There were two major institutions that were problematic. One was the Commercial and Development Bank.
Bunda fula sotonta nak kolea sotonta menu la karola kilindo wala the Gambia Commercial and Development Bank.
And it was agreed with World Bank that it must be privatized.
Bitung nyin kambe unata soto Gambia ni World Bank tema ko bunda nyi ya londi yake afaye bundati.
So it had given a lot of bad loans.
Andu inata dontorolu menu ke dontorolu jamale ke men yalon ko manna jo.
Many of which were government guaranteed.
Adu dum fanan jama ke ta muneti man sakunda fangol yolu sankaya.
So these were hived off. The bad loans were hived off.
Bitung wo julu jawolu men yalon ko manjo no inata wolu nyorindi karala.
That was how AMRC, the Assets Management and Recovery Company, was set up, and the bad loans were transferred to AMRC.
Otumole nata AMRC Londi, Assets Management and Recovery Corporation, wala keta man sakunda la julu kanim bundati, wo julolu be menu la imajono yela ko sawundi wo bundale la polisi la julolu jo wo bundato.
The company that remained was converted into a public limited liability company.
Tun bunda men tutaje nu ina taw ke jama do ku bundati me ya lonko ko lebe den dingi la me ya lonko ba no ma sata le ka jube face bono nyoto.
And it became the Meridian BAO.
Ina ta wa fo bundale Meridian BAO.
Actually owned by Social Security and Meridian. I think Meridian International, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation.
Bunda fulale nata je mara Social Security and Housing Corporation aning Meridian la bunda ba me ya lonko mu bantala banku kafuleti ni bunda fulole nata dingala.
It became the trust bank as we know it now.
Wale nata yelema atamata hanfo silangela kolu yiruata sai ni labamula ikafujele trust bank.
Mrs. Bensouda, the economy basically was in good shape at this point.
The economy was in good shape.
The administration of government was also going very smoothly. The civil service was in good shape.
It wasn't perfect. I don't want to give the impression that it was.
But you were able to overcome some of the challenges that you had and work towards the future.
There were
good development programs in place, and the country was progressing well.
I'd just like to add, at the time we had what we call the Singapore Dream.
Singapore Dream. Gambia bekelele ko banko me ka fa Singapore ka to keta bankuletin menula yirwa e dunia be nyafa.
President Jawara believed we could become like Singapore.
President Jawara
within 10 years.
President Jawara nata la nyina ko sanji tangu chew kono ninkolu tata nyama Gambia sina kele ko Singapore banko be no nyamin.
I would also further like to add that the government had taken the radical decision to convert Gambia into an offshore center.
Andu man sakunda yenyi sarta kolengo tale nung purka Gambia ke bundati kafdama offshore center wolem nyinti safaro lu bunga ba bebe tarla janne nim bantala banko lu tem.
And what did that mean?
It means Gambia would become a tax haven.
Wolem nyinti Gambia bina kala bundale timme ya lonko namujo atekela kuti me ya lonko isa aduno la bundalu kamen keta safar bundalu
like Mauritius
banko
benu nyame
like Barbados.
I was going to say like some of the exotic islands around the world.
Indeed. And we were small, we didn't have natural, we were perfect for it.
This
is because we did not have any natural resources to speak of.
Gambia mang fensoto me ya lonko safo banko jidi fengol lemwoluti Gambia si balu menna wala na nyil londi ko na mo de sila mbe kala kuleti mbe men sarto londi la pura e bambang.
But we could become an international service center.
Bari nseke banku ni banku te masafar do ku bundati.
And so we could house banks of convenience, offshore banks.
Oton si banku bungulu londi no le jang men ya lonko wolu kala o sarta banku bungol leti.
Offshore shipping, flags of convenience.
Anim fanang ni marchandise kulumbalu ni manduar kulungulu menuka marchandise lu yoronna wulu fanalla e korda basi tarano jang.
And also have an offshore companies register.
Andum fanang compino lu fanali si sotonno le menu betalla o nyakilingu nyama banko kanjang.
And this would obviously build the economy further.
Yes, and if you look at the laws of the Gambia, all these acts were actually enacted with support from US aid.
Adun ñineya jube ay ñim bundalu menu be fotengolu be luwalu sotontale men ya lonko ye londile nun adun wo fanan wotumo bunda meyo sembentu ya kama koyro di ika fole US aid wo mu bundalti menkata America la ma koyro bundati nun.
And unlike now, both the World Bank and IMF were supportive of the idea.
Andun kani sa imfatata World Bank anin wo bunda kotengolu be ya ko fasale nun.
You've painted a very glorious picture of the Gambia then.
As I said, it wasn't all rosy. Poverty was quite high. Agriculture was one of the major, challenges.
Seno bunda wolem bunda tinu meya lonko ila kulu koleani jiko bebe wala bunda lanu.
But we had a handle on things and a strategy for addressing.
Bari nga katale hanfo nga kulu mara nyama meya lonko nga lodula kela meya lonko anin sartol tata nyola.
And comparatively, looking at the history of Gambia, we were in a good place, I would assume.
Aduniaji be Gambia la sarto nin tariko la karola mbe lorin lo nya nyimma la nuwotumo.
We were in a good place.
Mbe nun dinkira kende bale tunu.
Let me also add the health sector.
But ngani la faje jata kende abunda.
A great deal of work had been done on the health sector.
Doku kende balle fanalu ketanung jata kende abunda kidimando la karola.
Child and maternity health.
Dindingulu ning dimbalu la jata kende abunda ye fansumbunda sotonung.
Particularly in the rural areas.
Sako santo to ya sembentu ya otobake.
We are very successful.
Andu fanana take kuti me yiruata bake.
We had one of the best child and mortality health systems then.
Otumo mo findula nyin tundo kan Gambia jang na dimbalu nin dindingulu la jata kende abunda sartolu nyontangulu muati nung mo findula nyin tiliji banko la jang.
And considering our meager resources as a very small country,
and how
we were able to manage that. How did you feel being a Gambian? I mean, you've traveled to various countries for conferences, meetings. How did you feel being part of this small nation?
Gambia had very good standing in the international world.
Gambia ilo nyanyi mabale soto nungutumo bankunim bankute mabundalula.
And one was proud to be a Gambian.
Andu momon din kan na nyanyi na le kafonte mo Gambia dingulti.
And this was the scene in which the military dictatorship took over, or the military government.
Munda sojar oli bankota o alhalo le nyamanu bankota la waro men.
Indeed.
And where were you on the 22nd day of July